if you compare the 4th generation iPod Touch to the 2nd generation iPod Touch, you will notice that it is quite different aesthetically. One of the things you'll notice is that the screen on the 2nd generation iPod Touch is actually visible when it's turned off. I don't know why the screen on the older generation iPod Touches are a lot lighter than the 4th generation iPod Touch when it's in sleep mode. I guess it's just this has more advanced screen technology or something, I don't know. But I find that interesting because these are both TFT displays. Speaking of the display, this iPod Touch only has a resolution of 640 by 480. This one has a resolution of 960 by 640. So therefore you've got a much higher resolution, as you'll soon see. And of course, thickness-wise, people are saying that the iPod Touch 4th generation is a heck of a lot thinner. Really, I'm having a hard time seeing the difference, but I'll show you this nonetheless. If you take a look, yes, now the thicker part of the thickest portion of the iPod Touch 2nd generation is obviously much thicker than the thickest portion of the iPod Touch 2nd generation. Let me see if I can scoot this out of the way. So now you have a better contrast, and as you can, yeah, actually that is a bit more conclusive. I accidentally turned that on. That is definitely a little bit thicker, or thinner, I don't know, whichever one you're looking at. So yes, but I am still having a little bit of a hard time noticing any difference. Also, another difference that you might notice, well, I'll put this back. Okay, another difference is that if you take a look at the 2nd generation iPod Touch, you'll notice that it has a curved back. Let me wipe off these fingerprints on it real quick. And as you can see, as I orient it, you'll notice that the camera is getting really distorted as it gets towards the edges of the iPod. And there it looks like it's being sucked into some vortex. Watch. Okay. Whereas on the 4th generation iPod Touch, you have a flat back, so you'll notice the camera stays pretty uniform as it gets towards the edges. Now it does taper off towards the extreme edge, I guess you could say, I don't know, towards the very edge, because it is rounded off there, but it is generally a flat back iPod. So Apple's kind of going back to that flat design. It actually, if you hold it, what it really reminds me of is the 1st generation iPod Touch. That's kind of what it feels like. That's what some people are saying this reminds them of, is the 1st gen iPod Touch. I would definitely agree to that. It feels very sturdy because of that. I have to say my favorite iPod Touch out of them all would be the 1st gen iPod Touch, due to the fact that when you hold it, you feel like you're holding some sort of a brick. It feels incredibly sturdy. This has that same feeling, so I would definitely say this is, you know, in terms of sturdiness, pretty much, you know, with the iPod Touch 1st generation. So yeah, it feels much sturdier to me. This one, it does feel more comfortable, but, you know, still, it feels fat, and it does still feel actually a bit cheap, so that's that. Also, as I've already pointed out, on this one you have a volume rocker, but on this one you have a set of volume buttons, so that's that. As I've already mentioned, we have on the 4th gen iPod Touch, here, let's turn it this way, you have a separate speaker grill right there. The speaker in the 2nd gen iPod Touch is right in here, and that's really the only difference there. Also, on the 4th generation iPod Touch, you are missing the Wi-Fi antenna. Teardown, I've looked at a teardown, and it looks like the actual antenna is more towards the front of the iPod Touch 4th generation, and I guess Apple did that because I guess radio waves have an easier time passing through glass, so I think the antenna is located right around here, and either that or the camera itself is replacing it, but I think if that were the case, you get a lot of radiation and feedback or something from the camera, so I'm not really sure about that. I think the Wi-Fi antenna is right here, though. I had a hard time seeing it in the teardown that I looked at, though, so yeah. Alright, now let's go ahead and compare the screens. What you're looking at right now is the 2nd generation iPod Touch. As you can see, hopefully it looks a bit washed out. Maybe if I cut the brightness down it'll help. That certainly helped a little bit, and my hand is trembling, so I do apologize for that. As you can see, it's still washed out, but who cares. It looks like that. just like that. So, this might actually look pretty decent to you, but when you take a look at the Retina display up close, get ready. You will notice quite conclusively that there is a pretty big difference up close. Everything looks a lot cleaner, crisper, and nicer, and because of the super high-res screen, everything just really looks sharper. Some people have said I don't need to zoom into web pages anymore when I'm viewing them. I don't have to worry about that because I can read them from their positioning that they're at. So, you know, that's pretty much that. It looks pretty amazing. If I can keep it, you know, right where you can sort of see individual pixels, then that would probably help a lot more. But yes, the screen resolution is quite a bit higher. Which iPod are you looking at right now? 4th generation iPod Touch or 2nd generation iPod Touch? Which iPod are you looking at right now? 4th generation iPod Touch or 2nd generation iPod Touch? Seriously, answer that for yourself. Although I will tell you right now, the first one you looked at was the 2nd gen iPod Touch, and the second one you looked at was the 4th gen iPod Touch. And if you're able to tell the difference, then you probably were looking at the screen resolutions. So let me just show you that up close again, and I will tell you which ones you're looking at, so you can more see the difference. This is the 2nd gen iPod Touch. You are looking at a note that I took for a presentation I did in a class last year. As you can see, it looks pretty much okay. It doesn't look bad, but when you take a look at the 4th gen iPod Touch, up close, it looks a heck of a lot better. Okay? You can see that. It just looks a lot better. So that is the Retina display versus the standard display. Although I will say right now, is the Retina display something to really get super excited about? In my personal opinion, I can't tell the difference. I just can't. I mean, it looks clearer, yes, but I just can't really seem to tell much of a difference. A lot of other people, whenever I let them borrow my iPod, I ask them afterwards, were you able to see a difference? Did the screen look super duper high resolution to you? And generally they'll say yes, but for some reason I just can't seem to tell a difference when I'm actually using it, you know, for personal use. I mean, I just can't. People say, put the old one against the new one, and there's an immediate difference. Well, I'm going to do that right now for myself. And, yeah, I mean, they look the same. I'm sorry if my head got in the way. They do look the same to me. I mean, that's just the way they are. I'll even hold them up to myself, and I'll see. I mean, maybe just a little bit different. I mean, but not much. I mean, they're both usable, okay? So, if the, I don't really think that the Retina display is much of a seller point, because there is a possibility you might not know what it is. And by the way, this one looks like it's been turned off because the screen is cut down a bit more, because for some reason when I don't cut the screen brightness down on this one, it gets really washed out. I don't know why that is. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick speaker comparison test. I will be playing one of my YouTube videos. This probably isn't the best test to do, but we will be playing several other sounds. But let's go ahead and start with the YouTube video test, because I own the copyrights to these videos, so therefore that just, you know, is the easiest way to do it. So let's start with let's start with the 2nd generation iPod Touch. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to push that button right there, and we're going to let it play. As you can see, I've got it set to half volume, so... And both of these are set to the same volume, so let this play. Alright, let's give it some time to buffer. Pizzscn here, and today I'm going to be doing a much briefer version of my 1x1 tutorial. This one is only going to be one part, and if anything is going to be 2 parts. There's that one. Now, let's try out the 4th gen iPod Touch. As you can see, same exact volume. Hello, it's Pizzscn here, and today I'm going to be doing a much briefer version of my 1x1 tutorial. This one is only going to be one part, and if anything is going to be 2 parts. So as you can see, the iPod Touch 4th generation is quite a bit louder than the second generation iPod Touch. Yeah, so, and also as you can see, it seems to handle the internet a bit faster too. It took a lot faster to render the video than the second gen iPod Touch did. Okay, let's go ahead and do some other sounds. Let's go ahead and go into settings, and we'll just play through, yeah, oh, it just crashed. How do we like that? Let's go into settings, sound settings, sound, and let's just play through some of these sounds. Also, I want you to notice both are set to the same volume level. So, alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and start with new mail. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with the second gen iPod Touch, turning them all off. Alright, second generation iPod Touch, ready? New mail. Then with that one, fourth gen iPod Touch, new mail. Sent mail, second gen iPod Touch. There's that one, and on fourth gen, time here. There's that one. Okay, calendar alerts. This is a very loud and obnoxious sound. Okay, let's see if I can do it better this time. Calendar alerts on the fourth gen iPod Touch. Okay. Alright, and let's do the lock sound. There you go. Here it is on the fourth gen. I heard that difference very well. Finally, keyboard clicks. This is a huge difference. There's that one. You barely hear it. There's that one. So actually, I kind of over-exaggerated that. Okay, so that's that. And as you can see, they were both set to the same volume the whole time. Let's see, anything else we can do? Let's go through some of the little ringtones, or alarms. So, we're not going to go through them all because there's quite a bit of them, but we're going to go through maybe the first 5. Alright, let's start with marimba on the second generation iPod Touch. Should be easier, hope. Alright, now this is the fourth generation iPod Touch. Are they both set to the same volume? Hold on. Let me just check that. Yep. And this one. Yep. Okay. I'm sorry. I had a hard time hearing that difference. For some reason. Okay, let's go ahead and do alarm on the second gen. This is a long one. There you go. An alarm on the fourth gen. Okay. Let's do bark. Nope. Ascending, excuse me. Okay, let's do ascending over here. I am not able to hear much of a difference in these. Okay, let's do bark. Bark. Maybe the camera's picking something up. Alright, and let's do bell tower. Bell tower. Okay, we're going to do maybe 2 more, but with both of them set to their highest volume. There's that one. Let's set this one to its highest volume. Now, the only reason why I don't have it as highest volume anyway is because the camera will neutralize it out. It'll make them sound like they're the same. But in this case, they both sound the same to me, even with half volume. But yeah, I had it at half volume for the sake of the microphone on the camera. Let's do blues. That's on the fourth gen. Alright, and on the second gen. This test is not conclusive at all. They both sound exactly the same. I really don't know why that is. It must be something to do with the sounds. I don't know. But there you be. That is what the speakers sound like. So